Hey, what's going on YouTube? Alabama Reloader here. So I had someone comment, I believe it was on my 308 video, maybe the latest 308 video that I did, or something to that effect. And he was wondering where the 270 results video was. And I think he's referring to the results from when I tested this bullet right here, the 150 grain SST. And I thought I had posted a video talking about the results of that range trip. I don't know if I just mentioned it in another video, but there you go. I mean, this stuff was so bad that I didn't even put calipers on it to figure out just how bad it was. And so I'll kind of go through, I can't remember for the life of me the two powders. I think I used, I know this one is Stay Ball. So the top row is, Winchester Stay Ball, 51.1 grains. And the fifth group is not on this target for Stay Ball. I actually shot that on a different target, but the bottom five are H4350. I believe that was the other powder. I have to go back and look at my notes. But yeah, I mean, 2.3, 2.4 basically inch group. And it doesn't look much better than that on anything else. So that was it. Yeah, and I didn't make huge jumps in the charge weights either. So that was, it was all bad. Basically I just burned a lot of powder and bullets and didn't accomplish much of anything. I found out what, I guess, two powders and two ranges to avoid, I guess, with that bullet would be the main takeaway. But yeah, so nothing too impressive there. So to that fella that wanted to see the 270 results, that's it. And the rifle is a Steyr Pro Hunter, stainless steel, chambered 270 or whatever. Really, really sweet rifle. It's the first 270 I've ever owned, and I'm really enjoying kind of learning more about that round and checking out some powder lists and things to go with and try. But yeah, so that's probably why you didn't see a video dedicated to that, because the results were so freaking crappy. But since you've asked, here's the video. There's the results. Nothing worth mentioning and or measuring there. But I've got some other loads. I'm also testing, because the Steyr Pro Hunter, from what I understand, has a fast twist rate on the barrel, faster than what basically, I guess, a lot of factory 270 Winchester rifles have. A lot of them are geared more toward that 130 grain range, but I also picked up some 180, which is pretty wild. Woodley makes 180 grain bullet in a 277 diameter. So, why not? And there is load data available for those that are wondering. Yes, there is load data available for 180 grain bullet in 270 Winchester. I can't remember if it's on Hodgdon's website or not, but it's only 3 powders, and it's just 3 powders that they carry. So we're gonna give that a try. I've already shot, I think I shot 10 of them, just checking the velocity. And get over here to my notes. Let's see if I can pull that up. Let me see. Had that in here, and the little Harbor Freight light's getting in the way. Had that in here somewhere. No, so that was the velocity test I just did with the 130s. So that's pretty cool. We can I can show you guys that target as well. So that's this target right here. So there's the 180s, right? Okay, H4831, that was the powder I was using in the 180s. Went up to 50 grains. That might be what the max is called out in the book. And I only jumped 0.2 of a grain just because I'm really trying to stay, obviously, I want to get more velocity and try to push as much as I can. So I've actually worked up some 3-shot, I think it's 3-shot groups, beyond 50 grains. So I'm going to go explore that next. So yeah, so that'd be cool. 180 grain and a 270 Winchester. That's pretty intense. You should see the sectional density numbers on that. It's pretty insane. Oh yeah, and here was the so here's the 4831 shortcut with the 130s, just the standard Hornady 130s, and there's the 130s with the Ramshot Magnum. So I did some velocity testing, and here are the results of those. I'm a full with H380 at a later date. But here you can see the jumps. You know, again, we're not jumping much in terms of a grain weight every single time. But yeah, you can see the velocities that we got up to. Ramshot Magnum, you know, basically 3,200 feet per second. And we're shooting these guys. Where are they at? These guys. So these are your super traditional standard 270 bullet by Hornady. So I believe I had filled out the rebate form for a couple of die sets that I bought from them, and in both cases I picked up a box of these. So I've got 200 of these to play around with, minus the ones I've already loaded up and shot. But so that was why we're going to try to work up a load with the 130s. So we'll follow that back up. Probably mess around, you know, way up here in this 3,200 feet per second range if we can make sure, you know, pressures aren't too crazy. I don't think, if I recall that range day, I don't believe I remember seeing anything that even was concerning in the least. So that was pretty cool. Lagging behind just a little bit in velocity there with the 4831 shortcut. And these were, I think these are the max, the recommended maximum charges. I believe that's what I went up to, I think. Oh yeah, there we go. So there's the Woodley 180s. Yep, so there's our overall length, 3.280. And then, of course, just like you saw on the target there, didn't jump a whole lot, trying to really stay closer to that max. And so now I've got I think it's either three shot or probably 3 5-shot groups loaded up to test beyond that 50 grain. So I just want to see how they group. Since I had the magnetospeed chronograph on there, just trying to gather some velocity data now, I just want to kind of move past that, see how they group. And then if we get, you know, decent groupings past this, you know, past that 50 grain mark, then we'll circle back, load those up, then we'll get velocity data on that. So that's basically what we're doing with that, trying to get us a good starting point, point of reference on velocity, trying to squeeze out as much as we can with the 180s, just see what it'll do. I think it's pretty cool. Let's see, but that left me with, let's see. Oh yeah, it was 3. It was, yeah, what was it? I think it was 3 shot groups. That's what it was. So it left me with some brass, that I need to just throw some rounds in, because I don't want to get in the habit of chopping up, you know, my batches of brass and having once fired, you know, 15 once fired and then, you know, 10 twice fired or whatever. So I loaded up a few more, a couple of 4-shot groups here with Accurate Mag Pro. I just threw random charge weights in there, 62.5 and 63 grains. Just, yeah, basically just go run them through again, so that way I'm not chopping up my brass, like I said. But all right, so that's it. There's the 270 update. We haven't even started shooting groups yet, except for that first target, and it was so terrible. We're like, hey, well, let's get away from the 150s. I just want to see if the 180s will work. I think that's pretty cool. And then try to dial in a good 130 grain load. And maybe we can get that done in time for hunting season. I've got really good loads worked up with my 6.5 Creedmoor and my 300 Blackout, so I'm not concerned at all about having a load for hunting season. But if we happen to fall on a really good load, within the next couple of weeks or so, then we'll definitely try to use the 270 this year as well. So I think that'd be pretty cool. A complaint though, I think, a complaint about this Hornady brass, you know, just for reference, it is this kind of stuff right here. It's the stuff you buy in their little box. So it's not the bulk repackaged, you know, like a lot of stores or a lot of online places do. It's not repackaged crap, okay? This is their expensive, and this stuff is like 60-something cents a piece. And I was pretty disappointed in, you know, this guy right here. This was, that was straight out of the package. So you can't even reload that because it's split, and it just looks terrible. Like, I have no idea. Their inspection system just didn't catch that one. So that was pretty bad. So that piece right off the bat. So I lost one. So, and they only send you 50. So now I'm down to 49. Well, and then one of the very first loadings, one of the very first firings, I get a split case. And this, I mean, this was nowhere even near max on, this was probably one of the stay ball loads or something. One of the very first, I mean, like one of the very first shots I took with the rifle. So again, just pretty pissed about that. So I'm down 2 pieces of brass. One I couldn't even load. This one, I got 1 firing out of it, and it's trash. So, you know, you pay that kind of money. Those boxes of Hornady brass, when they're in their little Hornady box, those aren't cheap, right? I mean, you can get them cheaper if you get bulk repackaged stuff. But for the most part, those are pretty spendy, and the quality just wasn't there. I'm assuming I just got, you know, kind of some bad luck. Haven't really had that issue in the past. Definitely haven't had that issue with Starline or Lapua brass that I've used quite a bit of. So, yeah, kind of got bit on that one. So, but that's it. That's where we're at on 270. So more to follow. Y'all stay tuned, and we'll just keep rocking and rolling and go from there. So we'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a good one.